We'll go over a very simple tutorial of the calculus topic of rate in and rate out. Rate in and rate out problems are fairly simple, generally consisting of two rates that are either functions or slightly less commonly tables. In order to gain an understanding of the various topics that a rate in free response question can cover, we're going to use this example FRQ and go over several of its problems. One of the simpler topics found in a rate in and rate out problem is finding the total amount something has moved in or moved out over a time period. This can be done with an integral over time of the rate in or rate out, or in the case of total change of period, rate in minus rate out. Another common problem found in rate in and rate out FRQs is finding total amounts in a system after a certain time period, which can generally only be done if already given the amount of whatever at a certain point in time, usually at time zero. With this value and knowledge of net change, we can find the amount in the system using an integral over time of rate in minus rate out, our knowledge of net change, and the known value. In a rate in and rate out free response question, writing in an expression for the total amount at any time p within the boundaries of the problem is extremely similar to finding the value at a time, but careful consideration must be paid to the value given such that the expression gives the proper value no matter whether t is greater than or less than the value given, unless the value given is an endpoint, and of course t must be used instead of the unknown time. Finding zeros on a rate in and rate out problem is fairly trivial, except that the difference when compared to a normal find the zero problem is that what must be found is the expression for the value at any time t set to 0, rather than the rate in or rate out set to 0. Finding the minimum of the amount in a rate in rate out problem is extremely similar to finding a normal minimum. First, you find critical points, setting the rate in minus rate out to 0, and then check to see if the values around the points change from negative to positive as the input variable increases. Likewise, when finding maximums, you only have to find the critical numbers and check if any of the critical points have the behavior that they change from positive to negative as the input variable increases. And if you only have to find where there is a minimum or maximum, just set rate in minus rate out to be 0. Finding the maximum amount of something in a rate in or rate out problem is just finding the absolute maximum of rate in minus rate out, or comparing the values of all critical points and endpoints, and finding the largest. Finding the minimum is almost exactly the same, but instead of finding the largest value, you find the smallest value of the critical and endpoints. And finally, if you'd like to practice any rate in or rate out FRQs, here are links to some PDFs with their problem numbers. Thank you.